A family traumatized after armed federal agents busted into their home as they were sleeping and took almost everything they own. Problem is, they were not the people agents were supposed to be looking for.
News 4's Spencer Humphrey is here with their frightening ordeal. Spencer, what's going on here?
Yeah, well, get this. That family just moved here about 2 weeks ago from out of state, and this is how their life in Oklahoma got started. They say they told federal immigration agents they had the wrong people, but those agents kept treating them like criminals, even though they're all U.S. citizens. Fear.
I did feel at times that I was going to die.
So much fear.
I kept praying. I said, God, please let me live through this moment.
Humiliation.
I was a zero. I was nothing.
Pure disbelief.
I just couldn't understand, how is this happening to us?
All just for wanting a fresh start.
Imagine being yanked out of bed in the middle of the night, your children forced into the rain at gunpoint, and then being told it was all a mistake. That's not a nightmare. That happened to an American family, and it should terrify every single one of us. If it can happen to them, it can happen to any of us.
Mr. Chair, on the morning of Thursday, April 24th, about 20 armed federal agents broke into a home occupied by a family of U.S. citizens in Oklahoma City who had just moved there 2 weeks prior from Maryland. ICE agents mistaking the current occupants for the former broke down the door, terrorized the family, and they repeatedly said, "We are citizens. You have the wrong people. We are citizens." It happened in the middle of the night. 3 children at gunpoint were forced outside to stand in the rain in their underwear while their mother pleaded with these agents to tell them what was going on. They ignored the pleas. They ripped apart the entire house. They seized cash, documents, electronics, their computers as evidence. When the family asked when they would get their stuff back, the agents responded, "Well, it could be days or it could be months." This was all a colossal mistake. The names on the warrant did not match the people who lived in the house. This is what we have created here. This is Trump's America. These were citizens who were treated like this. This is what we want you to open your eyes to. If it can happen, as we've said time and time again, if it can happen to folks with green cards, it can happen to citizens. And in Oklahoma City, we see a perfect example of that. This is what we're talking about. It's not other people. It's us. It's our neighbors, it's our friends, it's people who just moved from Maryland to Oklahoma for a better life and have their house destroyed. And they can't get answers. If we watch the rest of the news clip there, they're asking ICE, who's responsible for this? And then they're sending them to another agency, and they're sending them to another agency, and nobody is accountable for what happened to them. This is what my colleagues are trying to fund with this bill. Armed federal agents breaking into homes, even of U.S. citizens, traumatizing them, taking their possessions. This is Trump's America. That's why we continue to talk about due process. It's not some pie-in-the-sky idea. It's what literally holds our country together. Without due process, without the belief in the Constitution, we are not Americans. That's what gives us the ability to say we are an exceptional country in the world, that everyone who lives here gets due process. And we're going to keep saying this over and over and over again for everyone who lives here. What happened to that family, once again, of American citizens in Oklahoma City should scare the hell out of all of us. And we should not be using this committee to find more money to pump into ICE so that these things can happen. This family is all of us. That's what we're trying to say today. This family is all of us. And I can't believe that in our name, on our watch, this is happening to people who live in this country. Open your eyes. Wake the hell up.
What we just witnessed isn't just a story about one Oklahoma family. It's a warning. It's a case study in what happens when the immense power of the federal government is turned loose without restraint, without accountability, and without respect for the very Constitution that defines this nation. Think about it. 20 armed federal agents with weapons drawn bursting into the home of American citizens. This isn't a movie. This isn't a dystopian novel. This is real life, happening in 2024 America. And it wasn't a one-off accident. It was the direct result of a system built on fear, built on punishment, built on the idea that anyone who looks suspicious is guilty until proven innocent. This family did everything right. They moved across state lines to start fresh, to build a better life. They were asleep in their own home, in their own beds, when the door was smashed in. They told the agents over and over, "We are citizens. You have the wrong people." But the agents didn't stop. They didn't listen. They tore through their house, stripped their dignity, and traumatized their children, all while hiding behind the authority of the badge and the gun. And let's sit with that for a moment, because when children are marched outside in their underwear in the rain with rifles pointed at them, that is not law enforcement. That is state violence. That is fear used as a weapon. That is government power detached from justice. Now here's the deeper truth. This isn't about a bad warrant or sloppy paperwork. This is about a culture of impunity that has been growing for years, where immigration enforcement agencies like ICE operate with almost no oversight. They can knock down your door, take your property, leave your family scarred, and when you demand accountability, you're sent in circles. One agency points to another. Nobody claims responsibility. That's not law. That's lawlessness. And Becca Balint is right to call this Trump's America, because under his presidency, the culture of ICE shifted even further. Raids became more aggressive, due process was brushed aside, and cruelty became the point. Even today, the machinery of that system remains. Families are still suffering because we never truly dismantled it. But here's the part we have to understand. This isn't only about immigrants or asylum seekers or people at the border. This happened to citizens. This happened to a family who did nothing wrong, who were just trying to live their lives. And if it can happen to them, it can happen to anyone. This is why due process matters. It's not just legal jargon. It's not an abstract constitutional theory. It's the shield that protects all of us from the raw force of the state. Without it, the government can strip you of your freedom, your property, your safety, and leave you with nothing but trauma. Due process is what makes America America. Without it, we are no different from the authoritarian regimes we condemn. And here's what's even scarier, the normalization of this kind of abuse. When we hear these stories and shrug, when lawmakers fund ICE without demanding accountability, when we allow mistakes like this to be brushed aside, we're saying it's acceptable. We're saying this is who we are. And if we don't draw the line now, that line may vanish forever. So let's be clear. This family's pain is our pain. Their story is our story, because an attack on their rights is an attack on everyone's rights. If we believe in the Constitution, if we believe in freedom, if we believe in the idea of America, then we cannot allow this to continue. We can't keep pouring money into agencies that destroy lives without consequence. We can't keep pretending these are isolated incidents. We can't keep ignoring the erosion of due process in plain sight. This is the moment to open our eyes. This is the moment to wake up. This is the moment to say, not in our name. Because if we stay silent, we are complicit. And if we are complicit, then the America we claim to love will slip away, not with a bang, but with a knock on the door in the middle of the night. If you believe in justice, if you believe in the Constitution, if you believe in protecting families from this kind of government overreach, then don't just watch this video. Share it, talk about it, hold your leaders accountable, because democracy doesn't defend itself. We defend it. And if we don't, no one will.